Have you been in circumstances where you are physically present somewhere, but you are not there? Like you have traveled, you have left that particular physical location, right, and gone somewhere else. Your mind is trying to make calculations, you're trying to sort out something, you're trying to fix something, or probably you're challenged with something and you're like, how do I get this sorted? But you're particularly physically present in that scenario, right? And should you just check out of that, or probably by someone calling your name, you get that kind of, yeah, that kind of reaction. Yes, sometimes life happens, or do I say most times, life actually does happen, and we can be so clustered in our mind, thinking of so much, so many things to do, so many things to get sorted. And truth is, we never get things sorted when our minds are clustered. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Goodness, and I film and share insight about how to use journaling as a superpower to win on your journey. And if you are a returning subscriber, of course, welcome. And if you are meeting me for the very first time, like I said, my name is Goodness, but welcome to the family. In today's video, I will be sharing insight about how to use journaling to declutter your mind. Yes, let's have that conversation really. Life actually does happen, and every day is with back-to-back activities. Like your 24 hours is usually, of course, filled. There is really no free time, like I always say. But then situations come that are not appealing, things you did not plan for, things you desire, things you're worried about, and sometimes really get overwhelmed, right? Really get wearied, so weary that you're unable to focus, you're unable to be productive, and even make the right decision. Sometimes your mind is everywhere. In fact, have you been in circumstances where you are physically present somewhere, but you are not there? Like you have traveled, you have left that particular physical location, right, and gone somewhere else. Your mind is trying to make calculations, you're trying to sort out something, you're trying to fix something, or probably you're challenged with something and you're like, how do I get this sorted? But you're particularly physically present in that scenario, right? And should you just check out of that, or probably by someone calling your name, you get that kind of, yeah, that kind of reaction. Yes, sometimes life happens, or do I say most times, life actually does happen, and we can be so clustered in our mind, thinking of so much, so many things to do, so many things to get sorted. And truth is, we never get things sorted when our minds are clustered. So let me paint a scenario. Think about it. In your bedroom, right? You have it probably upside down, your clothes are somewhere else, your shoes are somewhere else, your socks, all your outfits, everything that you have. But basically, you have your room upside down, right? You most likely will not be comfortable in that room until you fix it. Sometimes it's not even that the room is even maybe disarranged, right? Or not properly arranged, but sometimes it could be that you have a lot of things in your house. Another scenario I would want to paint is usually some persons, not everybody, declutter for the year. Maybe at the end of the year, persons are like, I don't need this curtain anymore, this chair, we need to really just create a free space so that we can air. We need to give a lot of things out. I have too many shoes, my wardrobe are too full, or I'm changing my wardrobe soon, so I need to give all of these stuffs out. My kitchen is congested. All of those things, just as it happens with us physically, it also does happen in our minds, right? And so when you're thinking of a lot of things, your mind is buzzing, right, with different things, whether they are ideas or challenges that you have to fix or you have to solve. Your mind is cluttered. And so, what is the way forward when you encounter or experience a cluttered mind? I will speak to that shortly. But before I do, let me say this, that by design, we were made to thrive from Eden. And what I mean by that is we're meant to live by order, right? In a orderly life where things just go like a flow. You have a challenge, you create a solution, your mind is thinking in a very serene atmosphere, right? You are just able to produce the optimum, right? You're able to give answers or give feedback or create solutions or be productive, right, at the optimum. So here's what happens when we are unable to, or when we have a decluttered mind, right, we are most likely going to lose focus, right? You're going to lose focus. You're not going to be concentrated. And the things that you're committed to do at a given time, you will be less productive. And so because you are not focused, you're most likely going to be less productive. Going forward is the challenge of transferring what is going on your inside to the people physically or outwardly, right? Have you ever been in situations where your mind is, you're trying to just find solutions to something, you're trying to get to something, be productive or something, but you're not just finding your way forward, and you start to transfer the aggression on the people who do not know what is ongoing in your mind. If that has been you, or if this is you, then you need to declutter your mind. So let's get into the conversation already. How do you use journaling to declutter your mind? The very first thing that I would mention to you to do is to learn to write. Of course, you know that journaling is first about writing, but not entirely about writing. There's more to journaling than just writing, right? I've said that times and again. The very first thing to get to do to declutter your mind is take a deep breath, grab your journal, and write. Allow me to speak to this a little, being that we think most times that we have to write a lot of things, which is a mistake that a lot of persons make when it comes to journaling. And I think I have talked about it in one of my videos. Maybe I did attach it to this so that you can watch that too. And one of the mistakes that people make when they journal is to think that they have to write a lot. When you're experiencing a decluttered mind, what you just do is pick your journal and just highlight the things that are occupying your mind at the moment, right? You do not have to tell a story, you do not have to write 2 pages, you do not have to write 5 pages and tell all the stories. No, you could just highlight, just list the things that are currently on your mind at the moment. What this will do for you is it will give you clarity. Number two is that it will make you feel like you are conveying what is in your on your inside, and you're pouring it out to paper, right? You're pouring it out to paper, and it feels like there is space, there is breath, there's that fresh breath you get to feel, and feel like, okay, yeah, I got it now. This is what exactly I'm bothered about. Let's sort them one after the other. Number two thing you want to do with journaling and using it to declutter is to reflect. Sometimes what is bothering you or causing you to feel overwhelmed is some occurrence that happened maybe a week ago, maybe yesterday, maybe a year ago, or maybe something that happened 5, 10, 15 years ago and is really bothering you, right? You want to just sit and reflect rather than hold it to your chest and keep it in your mind, causing you to be less productive and to live less than you ought to. So sit with your journal and reflect. What happened? Why did it happen? What would have what went wrong? What would have been better? Right? While you sit and take that posture of reflection, right, you are able to look at the problem or the challenge or the occurrence, as it were, right, in a broader light and say, oh, this couldn't have happened, or this triggered this. And so subsequently, I shouldn't allow this to happen so that this doesn't happen, right? Or these are the things that I will now begin to do going forward to prevent this from happening. That's you reflecting on something that happened, right? Just it will give you clarity, and more than you um allowing it to drain your soul or become a strain to your soul, right? You are now getting the lesson from that occurrence, right? And you are able to apply the lessons or the lessons you're learning in your life going forward. Like you must have heard me say, if you have been in the family, that there are customized answers on your journey. There are customized answers for you on your journey. If only you learn to reflect and say, this happened, this this shouldn't have happened, right? This is what I will start to do going forward to prevent this, and this from happening. I hope that is clear. The third thing I would highlight here to you, and I think it's gonna be the last thing, in how to approach journaling to declutter your mind, is you sitting or taking a posture that is convenient for you and asking the question, what am I really bothered about? Yes, sometimes we think that we are bothered. Sometimes we even think we have a problem, but we don't. The challenge is there's too many things happening at the same time in our life, so much so that we lose control. And some persons, when they lose control or feel like they are not in charge of their life at the time, they lose balance, they are worried, they are overwhelmed, they are shouting maybe on people, angry, and all of that, right? Maybe just sit down and ask yourself with your journal, what am I really angry about? What happened? What's happening? Right? Ask those questions. Truth is, if you do not ask the right questions, you will not get the right answers. So ask the question, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? Why am I having this feeling? Why do I feel like I am not in charge of my life? Why do I feel like a lot of things are happening all at once and I do not think I have a hold on them? What is happening in my life currently? Ask those questions. As you ask those questions, clarity will come to you and you will begin to know the next step of action to take, what to stop, what to start doing right, who to reach out, what relationship you must nurse in that season. Do you see? I hope this three major highlights is insightful, um, for you to begin to apply to declutter your mind where you find out that you're getting overwhelmed, you're getting so wearied. And remember that you need to do this often, right? It shouldn't be a one of experience. It shouldn't be when you get to that crossroad and you feel like, okay, I should go grab my journal. If you make journaling a regular practice, you would most likely not be so worried or get to that point where you are feeling really overwhelmed that you do not know what to do, because it's now a consistent practice in your life. Maybe you choose to do it daily, maybe once in 2 days, twice a week, depending on what choice of approach you make, right, in approaching your journaling journey. But just to ensure that you do it as often as possible. If you do this, it will shield you from even getting to that state of overwhelm. And if you ever get there, maybe some form of pressure is mounted on you due to the fact that you have to be productive at a particular level, right? You are even going to have your hands on it. Why? Because you have over time been able to create a serene atmosphere in your mind that allows you to undo such things when they come, right? If this video empowers you or you find it very insightful, ensure that you click the like button, you leave a comment, or probably even share with me some form of scenario that you have been into or circumstances that you've experienced and you had applied journaling and it worked for you, right? If you would have me share insight about other things related to journaling, please leave it in the comment section. I would be really glad to do that. Before we go, please ensure that you subscribe. Yes, hit the subscribe journey and become part of the family. Till I come your way again. Bye.